do you want to spend 25, which personally I think is ludicrous because, you know, I paid a guy $20 to,
Yeah.
But until we get somebody, we may have to do that.
Yeah.
but if, you know, if
For
there's
an
somebody
interim.
else that,
Yeah.
but if you could at least comment on what you're looking for, a dollar amount and price, that would be, at least you have some
I
sort
think
of.
$15 an hour is more than fair
I think so
in
too.
today's market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But also now you're gonna have somebody put this air conditioning on in the morning. Because Steve will not touch it, and I don't blame him. He's not getting paid for it, why do it?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, River Shores is not getting, Steve is always getting paid, keep that
Yeah,
in
I
mind.
understand that, but I'm
Always
saying
Steve
from the
gets
Middle River
paid,
Club.
yes.
He does come in here and have coffee in the morning, which he's entitled to, I'm not disputing that.
Right.
Now.
Well, maybe we can make that, you know, that's only a minute worth of his time. I don't think we have to be so petty with
Yeah.
that. He can certainly turn on the air conditioning and open the
And he'd be
clubhouse.
more than willing to.
Yeah, well,
Right.
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, he's getting paid.
Yeah.
so you're not going to be billed for that.
You will not be billed,
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I
maybe
was
we should
trying to
leave
say.
The status quo
Yeah.
for a couple of weeks while we
All right.
do a little.
I think a
investigative
week is more than enough
See if we
to
can
make
hire
some kind of
somebody.
decision on this. We don't have to go a
Yeah.
month or
Okay.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Bill's been doing a great job finding people for cheap money and doing a really great job, really.
Mhm.
He had a beautiful job of concrete work done. So,
And this is for work like minor painting, minor repairs, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Power washing the deck.
I couldn't believe what we
Well,
paid $375 for.
Power washes this in here, both
And the pool deck.
the cafe in this here and the pool area.
Yeah.
And of course, he shoots the walls to get rid of the cobwebs.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, that's about it. I don't know now, the other thing is, I don't know if that's his power washer or ours. We might be in a problem with that.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah,
Okay?
but,
Just tell
Yeah.
me.
okay.
Why would he be using his power
Why
washer
why
here?
would you even
That doesn't
think it
make
might be
sense.
his?
Because I don't know if we have one. I don't know if we
I
have
think we
any
used to
tools.
have one. We used to have one, I remember many years ago. Now, if it's the same one or not, I
I
cannot
think that
answer.
should be asked of him if,
I don't think he'd go out and buy one and use it, you know.
Yeah.
okay,
I
I
think,
don't
He's
know,
not a
but we'll
private
find out.
contractor.
I understand that.
but I've heard that all the tools are his own, or his own.
Or
That's
his
why we
own.
can't
I
get
mean,
it.
we bought a carpet cleaner from him, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Oh, that's right, we did.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, but it turned out that it's ours.
Exactly, I'm
Right.
not disputing
just have
that,
to
but I
ask.
don't know if, as far as I was led to believe, all the tools that Steve uses belong to him.
The tools themselves, yes, we're talking.
Okay.
So we'll just
Hand
ask, we'll just
tools.
ask him about.
Hand
Hand tools or whatever.
You know what, it shouldn't even go on discussing it, we'll find out.
Exactly, we'll just ask him, is this yours? Can we use it, or do we have, if we have to rent one or whatever we have to do, we have to do that once a month.
We'll rent you one from the River Bend building.
You will?
Yep, we've got one.
So we want to make a decision then within a week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that seems fair. Doable. Is that all right?
Yeah. The budget will have to be shelved until we get.
Budget will have to be shelved until we have a chance to look at it. Margaret had the budget and she was going to do that, but seeing that she has resigned, we've not looked at it, so we can't tell you anything about that. We can't read that to you right now.
One thing though, I'd like to say about some of us, one, either maybe Barbara and Tony can sit down and make some projections about how much we're going to have at the end of the year. We should be able to do that with 10 months history behind us now. How much we're going to have at the end of the year and how much we're going to have by May, so we know if we have enough money to do the pool. We think that we have enough money
Well,
to do
you
the
have
pool
your
without an
September
assessment.
financials. Did Margaret give them to
She
you?
just gave them to me now.
Okay.
But-
All right, so you see the bank balance for the end of September,
uh-huh.
and you see what the year-to-date is, profit,
Mhm.
and all that,
Okay.
so.
All right.
Who's going to do the in-house too?
I can-
One of us has, are you staying? Are you staying?
Only till Tuesday.
Okay, the next-
So I'll call
Project.
What's
I'll
that?
call the roof.
I'll call him Monday.
You call him?
What's the
Okay.
update on that?
It's still not resolved.
It came, they repaired it, didn't leak for about 5 weeks, and then we got a rainstorm and it leaked. And in the meantime, they had not billed us, so we haven't paid anything for it yet. They had said they were gonna let it go for a few weeks to see if it holds. They said, we have kind of a precarious roof because we have so many insertions through it, between the 2 air conditioners, the solar system, all the vents. He said we have a lot of penetrations in the roof, and the material that we have on the roof is only available in 2 spots in the United States. That's why it took a while to get it. So we called, they're a strange company. You call them, when they come, they seem to be very attentive, they don't seem to be trying to rip us off, we're paying them on a per hour basis, $65 an hour. They said a worst case scenario would be 20 hours. When they did the work, he called me up and said it took us half the time that we expected, so there you save some money. And they still haven't billed us yet, but it's not repaired, so we're waiting for them to come back now and look at it again.
They've been called? Do they say have a date of when they're coming back?
They were supposed to come back last week, but we're not sure whether they have.
I'd have to, I'm gonna check with Steve Monday morning to see
Okay.
if they were here, and then from there, I'm gonna call them
Okay.
and ask them, are they complete, is it done, blah, 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 and that if it is, then we have to wait for a rainstorm to see if it leaks.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of rainstorms, because during that 5 weeks, it rained a lot.
Now, is there any, I
Apparently it has
didn't
to
read
do
the
with the wind
contract
or
with them.
something.
Is there any guarantee on this repair?
Yes.
There is? Okay.
Richard said that the problem with the roof is when the rain comes down in a certain
In a
direction is when we
specific
get the
direction,
flooding.
Yeah.
It gets sucked into your ventilation system because it probably leaks where the vent is.
It leaks right in the air conditioning room over here.
So you're saying it comes
You're
right into
sucking
the
it
vent?
bedroom.
You're getting rain into your vents, your ducts. It pools. When the air conditioner goes on, it takes the pool and blows it right into your building. And believe me, I went through enough really big storms to figure that one out.
So that has nothing to do with the roof patching then?
No,
Yeah.
not at all. And I don't know if that's fixable. How's that crap? Unless you turn,
Right,
you
how do
know.
you fix that?
It could rain this way today, tomorrow it rains this way. No matter what way you turn the vents, you're screwed. I don't know if there's a
You have to
cap.
find out where you're sucking in,
The intake, yeah.
right, your intake. And every time it rains from anywhere near that direction, you're going to be sucking in water for some reason. And that is getting into your vent system. It builds up. When it cycles on, bingo, blows it right into your building. Or leaks through the seams.
So we'll take that to the
How in
people
the
when they
name of
come back.
Christ could, you can't fix that. It's impossible to
You
fix
have
it.
to tear it down, look at your seams.
It leaks in one spot though, in the, and the billiard room and the electrical room.
And the
It'll leak
bathroom,
out
the
of
men's
over
room.
here.
Ladies' room. The men's room is fixed, I believe.
Is it?
That was
And-
condensation, I think.
Over here. And then on
Yes,
the
it's-
other side, it'll also leak.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, we'll have to go through that with them when they come back.
If I'm going, I might need your assistance if the gentleman comes, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure.
All right?
Took me a whole summer to figure that sucker out.
It would probably take me a lot longer, because I've never seen that.
Well, maybe we'll be a step closer to getting it finally repaired. We haven't painted, obviously, because there's no point in painting until, okay. Tennis court was resurfaced. We had a problem. We have a contract with them that said that the puddle's only so big after an hour of sun. There was 2 spots that had puddles after the fact. I monitored them. It was like 2.5 hours. There was still a puddle there. We called them. They came back. We patched those 2. Then I went out the next day and flooded the tennis court. It was a sunny day. And it was dried in 20 minutes. And then I haven't seen it since.
Well, I know Margaret was aware of it all summer and standing out there in the rain many days trying to get them to figure out what's going on, okay? So it's not something new that, I mean, you just came in. Margaret's been at it all summer.
It wasn't resurfaced until September.
Whenever, but getting involved with them
Uh,
and getting the work done, okay?
Good job.
But if their guarantee was that after an hour of sun, if there was anything left, then they would repair it, not while it was raining.
Well, I know she was involved in it and stood out there in the rain a few
Okay.
times.
So, I flooded it after the last repair and it dried in 20 minutes. If there's
Well,
any-
when was that, this week?
No, sometime between September 18th and September 30th.
Oh, when you were down that week?
3 weeks, yeah. Almost 3 weeks. Save the pool for last. The bulk refuse, that's been done. I got feedback afterwards that it's smaller than the old one. It's actually 30 square feet larger than the old one. I got feedback that it's too low. It's the exact same height as the old one. Somebody else sent me an email saying that they would have preferred cinder block, and I got back to them saying, absolutely, that would have been the best solution, the cinder block. But it would cost 4 times what we spent on this, and that in lieu of the fact that we have, in light of the fact that we have so many major projects to address, the pool, for example, we just couldn't justify spending that many thousands of dollars. It would have to have footings all the way around it and more extensive permits. So the enclosure's done, we put a new sign up to try and monitor how people use it. Again, rules are there, they get broken all the time, we have to just do the best we can to try and enforce them.
So anyway, 'cause I always see somebody coming in, they come in, they go through it, it's like a junk deal or whatever, takes all the stuff out that they want,
Yeah.
and then just leaves it, it's a mess. So anyway, well, we can keep people coming in just to go through the stuff and take what they want and then drive out.
I wish
again.
there were. There seems to be so
don't
much
know how
access
you
to this
can.
property, and the only thing I'd say is, if we see people, we can walk up to them and ask them, but you know, you've got to be careful about that too.
Yeah.
I mean, the gate stays open a really long time, so it's so hard. I mean,
Yeah.
I come in, and by the time I get all the way to the end of Avon to make that right turn, that gate is just closing.
And it's common knowledge
So,
that you can just follow somebody
3
else
cars
in.
could come in that time.
Yeah, they just sit there and wait.
And I've seen a ton of
Yeah.
people,
They've
How do you
sat there and
stop
wait
them?
many days.
I don't know how you stop
and
them.
I've seen a ton of people that obviously were visitors that went up to the gate and put the code in. So somebody has given them the code. I think we might want to entertain changing the code.
Well, how many
again.
times can that be changed often?
Yeah.
You change it every day.
But
You know, I mean,
You
it
know,
should be changed
yeah,
often,
change it for
evidently, if there's
emergency.
people, well, they should have it, but other than that, if there's people that are doing that, it should be changed.
It's an absolute disaster,
It's a
The whole
disaster,
the whole system.
really, because,
Originally, when that system was put into place, it was 1 clicker per apartment unless there was a need. Well, some people have 4 clickers. We had a tenant who just moved in. He said, I know the code, would like, you know. And he says, oh, and I says, oh, thank you. I mean, I'm up in the office. So I can tell you, you are correct in your observation. There's a lot of clickers in there with no apartment ID, you know, correlation. So there's only one way to do everything. It would be to scrap everything in there, leave the gates open a number of weeks, get everybody to come, obviously in the clubhouse, not in that office, it's too small, and we have to write everybody's clicker number, what apartment. If you have too many clickers, you know, it's one person in 1-bedroom apartment has 4 clickers, I think that's a pretty, not a
That's a
good...
drastic way of addressing it. I think that probably the people that live here and have clickers, even if they have extra clickers, they're not the ones that are the
Yeah.
problem. It's the people that get in that don't have clickers that
yeah,
are
they
the
give the
problem.
extra
But they don't
clickers
have
out, and
tenants
people
out.
probably.
But
They are giving the
The
correct-
clickers out. I found one case where somebody was checking an apartment for somebody here, but he lived in Wilton Manors, and he says, well, my clicker's not working. I says, who are you? And he says, well, I'm checking the apartment. And I thought, well, why would the owner not give the clicker? No, there has to be 2 clickers. So, you know, that was never, the system was never 100%. It
Right.
couldn't be.
I-
So, but there was certain limitations placed on it for, you know, a higher percentage of the security. So that's completely breached. So it's going to take something where all the clickers have to be. Another incident happened fairly recently. Somebody in one of the apartments says, I need a new clicker, and okay, I gave them the clicker. It's registered to that apartment. Well, apparently the clicker they had given me back belonged to Jerry, the maintenance man. Why was Jerry's clicker maintenance into this person's apartment? So
Yeah. I think we should first
It's a
address
mess.
just the people that have access by taking the code and doing what we can to.
well,
Well,
that you have to remember that's just a little bit more than just changing the codes, because you know, the city's involved,
The
the
fire
emergency,
departments,
the garbage, everybody's got to. So that's why I'm saying everything would have to be.
If we collected all the clickers and started from scratch within a couple months,
Well, no, it's not collecting them. There would have to be people to
identifiers.
sign up, to come down here. It would have to be like on a spreadsheet, you know, so it's clicker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it belongs to Devon 408 or something.
Well, wouldn't it first, couldn't you just, you know, inform people or let people know that if they see any